So the judge dismissed it and said there's no case here.
It really is an impactful and powerful piece of evidence that's going to go against Lively.
Blake Lively, if they find that she just was dishonest and lied on one single point of evidence in this case, in her testimony, the jury instruction says that they are allowed to discount her entire testimony.
Even the judge finds it difficult to recognize any positive aspects of her now that the public has turned against her. It turns out that there are none.
So her testimony is super important in this case, and if you can show the jury that she's lied, juries don't like liars.
By playing the victim and portraying Baldoni as the aggressor, the issue, and the root of everything, Lively skillfully managed the lawsuit for months through strategic public relations maneuvers.
She wants different rules for her than she wants for Baldoni and his team, which I don't think the judge will agree with.
However, the illusion was destroyed when the judge's surprising decision went against her. In addition to being embarrassing, the ruling undermined her case and revealed the tenuous basis of her accusations.
Trials are about the truth, and juries want the truth, and if you lie to them, they will hold it against you.
This was the tipping point that the media had been hovering like vultures, anticipating. The focus of the story changed from poor Blake to what is she really hiding, overnight. Social media exploded, news organizations scrambled to share their opinions, and legal experts scrutinized every aspect of the decision, which drove the internet into a frenzy.
That's Blake Lively's PR firm begging to be let go of the case. I think actually they may have the worst messages of all.
Although some attempted to defend Lively, the outcry was too great. This was a public humiliation that changed perceptions in real time, not merely a legal setback. It was intolerable to Blake, who had based her career on precision and control.
And if I were her attorney, I'd want to get out of this case before she has to sit for deposition, not just because it might be bad for the case, but PR-wise, it's not going to be good.
Sources who had been watching her behavior since the litigation began described her response as frantic, desperate, an outright collapse of the calm image she had worked to portray. She wasn't just frustrated.
It's going to skew it towards their view of the case. And then the penultimate question to the expert is, but you agree with me, the jury is able to determine for themselves what this video is showing.
She was enraged. Her public relations staff rushed to alter the story and entered into crisis mode. But Hollywood was finally seeing through her, and no amount of damage control could conceal the reality. The lawsuit was no longer the only issue. Following the judge's decision, the long-simmering anger suddenly erupted. This was more than just a legal defeat. It was a sea change in Blake Lively's public perception.
Because jurors are very bright, especially collectively. When they're all together, they all come from varied backgrounds. They're the smartest people in the room collectively, and they generally get the right result. So the experts here are going to be important, but ultimately this video is damning, and I think you're right to say, or I was right to say, this is some of the most damning evidence in this case.
The story was changing quickly, and not in her favor. She had been Hollywood's golden girl for years. She was charming, intelligent, and always in charge. The mask was loosening now, though. She was now perceived as a manipulator who had spent years twisting strings to preserve her reputation rather than as poised and powerful.
I think that's part of the PR battle. From a legal perspective, there would be no reason to put a statement by an expert in your complaint. It won't be shown to the jury. When you do go to trial, each side is going to have experts that they hire. Everybody has hired experts, and really experts are just hired guns.
Social media numbers tell the story best. The moment the ruling dropped, people started jumping ship. In just a few months, her follow count has plummeted at a pace no one expected.
Because it's pointless. This is only for public consumption.
Right.
And it's only to try to take back the narrative that Baldoni's team has done a very good job of. And perhaps the reason they've done such a good job, the Baldoni's team, is because they have more truth on their side than perhaps Blake Lively does.
This isn't just a slight decline, it's a record-breaking plunge. Hundreds of thousands of people have unfollowed Blake Lively, and the number continues to rise with each lawsuit update. While some initially wrote it off as a passing fad, it's clear that she is becoming the least popular person in Hollywood, and she is solely to blame.
Both sides are trying to kill each other, and right now Baldoni's team is winning hands down. Public opinion is completely behind him. You've got even conservative bloggers, Candace Owens comes to mind, Meghan McCain. These are very conservative people, and they are completely behind Baldoni and his team and what's happening here.
In contrast, Justin Baldoni is seeing a sharp increase in support, acquiring new allies, supporters, and followers every minute, while Blake's support is eroding.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, they need to listen to their lawyers, and they need to resolve this case if possible.
Those who previously disregarded his viewpoint are now reconsidering, recognizing that perhaps, just possibly, he was telling the truth all along. The disparity is evident, and the numbers don't deceive. Lively sees it as a full-blown public relations problem that cannot be resolved by rehearsed appearances or pre-written statements.
You're basically saying you're a liar. You misrepresent who you are in the court of public opinion. They've lost.
But the criticism isn't just online. Hollywood is turning its back on her, quickly. Directors, producers, and executives who formerly considered her as an asset now see her as a liability.
This is insane. What are you talking about? She genuinely is not aware of how insane she sounds.
Let's face it, Hollywood isn't a moral industry. It doesn't care who is right or wrong in a court case. Instead, it cares about money, power, and reputation. At the moment, Blake Lively is officially hurting the company's bottom line.
There's a lot of comments that she puts in here that you're just like, why would you want to take over someone's movie? The outfits in this end are so out of touch. No, we don't want to watch bullies like Blake.
Industry insiders say the hesitation to work with her is growing by the day. This isn't just a rough patch, it's a pattern. No one wants to bet on an actress whose public image is in free fall. No one wants to be linked to someone making more headlines for scandals than for actual work.
That's insane and that's crazy. And this is a reason why I think in the future people are just not going to work with her, because it's starting to add up. People are realizing that this is a pathology.
More significantly, nobody wants to cope with Blake's notoriously domineering behavior. Because this is about more than just the lawsuit. It's about a long-standing trend that Hollywood has been covertly allowing for years, and it's now being revealed in the most damaging way conceivable.
Team Blake Lively may think they have the upper hand. Sources say she has no idea what's coming regarding her battle with Justin Baldoni.
Whispers about her behind-the-scenes antics have circulated for years. The way she takes over projects, overrides directors, forces script changes, and ensures she's always the center of attention. The way she manipulates situations to stay in control, shaping narratives to her advantage. And until now, she got away with it. But this legal battle has exposed her in a way that can't be ignored.
One likely to be remembered as the spark that ignited the next chapter of the Me Too movement. On the other side is a billionaire producer, a novice filmmaker, director, and a small Baha'i, sorry if I'm saying that wrong. I think it's Baha'i employees who believe they are simply living up to the moral code of their faith.
Blake Lively is facing a full-scale reckoning as a result of this litigation, which is no longer only a legal battle. She is battling for her job, her reputation, and what remains of the image she spent years building, not just in court. She's losing on all fronts at this rate.
If the judge couldn't find anything there, I find it a little suspicious. So a source is talking on behalf of this Shane guy, saying that about Justin, that he always tried to present himself as a progressive man.
If she thought hiring a former cyber specialist would save her, she was wrong.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have hired former CIA agents with a proven track record of lying to the public, gaslighting the public.
If she thought showing up at film festivals and acting like nothing was wrong would save her, she miscalculated. And if she believed Hollywood would keep protecting her, she was dead wrong. The judge's ruling didn't just hurt her case, it was the final nail in the coffin of an already crumbling career.
She's quietly working with Nick Shapiro, the CIA's former deputy chief of staff and senior advisor to former director John Brennan. So this guy, high up, just about as high up as you could possibly get if he is the deputy chief of staff.
Now, the real question is, how much worse can it get? Because at this rate, we might be witnessing one of Hollywood's most dramatic downfalls in years. And no amount of stage smiles or red carpet appearances can undo the damage. And then, just when things couldn't get any worse, they did. Yeah, I'm talking about what happened when Blake Lively arrived at South by Southwest on March 9, 2025.
The CIA, after JFK was shot in the 60s, put journalists in the mainstream media on their payroll. And they did this in order to control the narrative, right? Which is another way of saying to gaslight the public, to stop the public from asking certain questions.
She walked the red carpet with the confidence of someone either oblivious to or in complete denial of the storm raging around her. With the lawsuit against Justin Baldoni spiraling into a PR nightmare, her reputation sinking faster than ever, and the media tearing apart her credibility, many assumed she'd lay low, maybe even skip the event altogether.
If you're a good journalist and you're at that red carpet, your duty is to ask people about Blake Lively being there and the whole situation.
But Blake had other plans. Instead of retreating, she stepped straight into the spotlight, determined to prove she was still in control. It wasn't just a public appearance, it was a statement. But it was a statement that backfired spectacularly.
Oh my God, I'm so happy and I'm so lucky and I love my fans so much and I love the journalists, I love the photographers. I was like, wow. She walked up to fans, took selfies and hugged people and were like, oh, don't take your selfie like this, put it on video mode and it's much better. She was so sweet.
From the moment she stepped onto the red carpet, the tension was undeniable. Normally, these events buzz with excitement and celebration. But this time, the atmosphere felt different. The cameras were rolling, but the usual energy was missing.
It's like she's trying to tell us that we were all wrong and she's a really nice person because now we can see that she is.
Every reporter, fan, and industry insider knew this wasn't just another movie premiere. This was Blake desperately trying to convince the world that nothing was wrong. She posed for photos, smiled for the cameras, and even made an effort to engage with fans. But something was off. The effortless charm she was known for felt forced, almost mechanical. No matter how hard she tried to keep up appearances, the cracks were showing.
And she was friends with people just hanging out there and gave this guy a hug and it was like, oh, this is so nice.
With a sign that read ***, justice for Justin Baldoni. Blake lied, ***, the protester, later identified as YouTuber and social commentator Colonel Kurtz, held up a sign that made it clear that not everyone in attendance was there to celebrate, shattering the illusion as Blake made his way through the red carpet, past flashing cameras and carefully planned interactions.
Know that they weren't exactly on her side of the whole situation going on with him. Someone held up a sign that said, "Justice for Justin Baldoni, Blake lied," and they were also wearing a shirt that says, "Blake lied."
It would have been awkward enough for a protester to turn up at such a prominent event, but Blake's handling of the situation made it considerably worse. Rather than dismissing it or answering politely, she appeared clearly shaken. The mask slipped in that instant, but it was only a moment. And it was captured on camera. Before long, the video had gone viral.
People commented and said, "Ooh, she hates her. Girl couldn't fake it. Oh, you know," are the exact words I say when someone asks me how I am and I am barely hanging on. "Oh, you know," is the new "here, damn."
Meanwhile, the media was eating this up. Every entertainment outlet, from *TMZ* to *Variety* to *The Daily Mail*, had reporters at the event, analyzing her body language, expressions, and interactions. The headlines practically wrote themselves. Blake Lively tries to save face amid legal scandal. Protester calls out Blake Lively on red carpet. Hollywood's darling no more. Lively faces backlash at SXSW. The scrutiny was unrelenting. And there was the cast interaction, or rather, the absence of it. Blake's co-star from *A Simple Favor 2*, Anna Kendrick, was also present. They were terribly mistaken if anyone thought they would put on a united front. Kendrick appeared intent on separating herself from Lively as much as possible, if anything.
I want to ask you, how do you feel like how does it feel like the movie's being impacted kind of by everything happening around going on in the world?
Why? What happened? I did ayahuasca and the last year of my life is just gone, but I've heard the movie's amazing.
Wait, thank you.
When asked about working with Blake again, Anna's response was short, clipped, and completely devoid of warmth. "Oh, you know, ***, she said, before quickly shifting gears and moving on. It was the kind of answer you give when you don't want to lie, but also don't want to tell the truth. And everyone picked up on it.
She just like threw this question at her saying like, how was it to work with Anna again? And she said this.
Like, what does it mean to be back with Anna? Oh, it's the best. I'm so happy.
The internet was able to analyze that moment in great detail. Kendrick's remark seemed like something you'd say about an ex you had to work with, according to the comments that poured in. On TikTok, a fan wrote, ***, girl couldn't fake it. Oh, you know is the new I'd rather not say, wrote another ***. Within hours, the video went viral, receiving millions of views on various platforms.
Then someone asked Anna Kendrick the same thing. What was it like being back with Blake? And she was like running away saying, oh, you know.
Anna, what does it mean to be working with Blake again? Oh.
If Kendrick's remark wasn't enough of a giveaway, her body language throughout the night made it painfully clear. Things between her and Lively were anything but pleasant. During interviews, she stood just slightly too far away. In group pictures, she positioned herself close Henry Golding instead. And when Blake spoke, Kendrick's face was unreadable. No grins, no fake joy, simply a blank stare that told volumes.
No one wants to be involved with Blake Lively. And I think one of the questions that Anna Kendrick was asked, which I thought was quite funny, by a Variety reporter, she asked her, coming from being a director, now going back to acting, how's that for you?
Went into acting right after directing. The team might be like, oh boy, she directs one thing and she thinks she knows everything.
Rumors of tension had circulated for years, but this was the first time people saw it for themselves. With the lawsuit approaching and public attention at its pinnacle, those whispers suddenly had fresh vitality. Speculation grew when Variety asked if the drama surrounding Blake had impacted the movie's release.
Blake Lively took over the directing as well from It Ends With Us, and Anna Kendrick knows how to switch on and off her roles in a movie.
It was the kind of question everyone saw coming, one any seasoned actor would be prepared for. But Kendrick's response? Pure avoidance. Why? What happened? She said, feigning ignorance before shutting the conversation down completely.
What happened? I did ayahuasca and the last year of my life is just gone, but I've heard the movie's amazing.
Wait, thank you.
Yeah, it's a typical Anna Kendrick kind of comment.
Her delivery was equally as important as her words. The avoidance, the dismissiveness, and the obvious wish to put Blake out of her mind was immediately apparent to fans, who interpreted it as proof that Kendrick didn't want to interact with her co-star in any way other than what was required under her contract. The awkwardness of the occasion was not entirely concealed by Henry Golding, who had maintained a professional demeanor during the press trip. He began his response to the question about getting back together with Blake and Anna with the standard prepared statement, ****, it's the best. However, he added, almost as an afterthought, what could go wrong?
Henry Golding was asked a question about his character and saying that he loved that he could come back and make him into more of a dick.
Changing him and making him a dick. A well-meaning dick. He was always a dick.
The anxious laughs and the brief silence were enough to start a new social media frenzy. It was obvious that no one could completely ignore the tension, not even the actors with the most media training. Additionally, it was having an effect on the movie's general reaction in addition to the press tour. Normally, a sequel to a hit like ***, A Simple Favor * would generate excitement, especially with the original cast returning. But instead of focusing on the movie, the conversation was completely overshadowed by the drama between Lively and Kendrick. Rather than discussing the plot, characters, or what to expect from the sequel, every interview, headline, and viral clip revolved around them.
You guys are so sweet on the show. This is so sweet.
Almost exactly the same performance except from taking her jacket off. Blake was thanking the photographers for not screaming at her.
According to reports, Amazon is concerned about the movie's box office performance for just this reason. The Hollywood Reporter * claims that officials have been keeping a careful eye on how Blake's media storm is impacting promotion, and things don't appear to be going well so far. It's generating disagreement rather than excitement. Rather than engaging audiences, it is causing them to doubt their desire to support the initiative altogether.
Person said, Blake's not the greatest, but Anna's not either. It's not either. And it's interesting because, that just tells you it's not Blake's obviously a problem for so many because we're seeing her caught, and obviously Anna hasn't seemingly done the level of what Blake did to Justin, obviously so.
Another indication of how rapidly everything is collapsing around Blake Lively is the fact that what should have been a triumphant return is instead becoming yet another catastrophe. At this pace, it's more important to consider if ***, A Simple Favor 2 * will withstand the wrath from Blake Lively than whether her career will survive this lawsuit. Because the public has already decided, if South by Southwest is any guide. Additionally, Blake isn't in charge of the story for the first time in her career. It's evident now that Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni's legal dispute has grown into something far more complex, with claims of sexual harassment, defamation, and risky public relations strategies. In addition to influencing both people's careers, this dispute is highlighting the difficulties in handling accusations of misbehavior in Hollywood. Both sides have adopted different public relations strategies to change public perception and safeguard their reputations as the court battle intensifies. Blake Lively has chosen to take a proactive legal approach in addition to making calculated attempts to manage the discourse surrounding the accusations. Citing privacy concerns and possible reputational injury, Lively's legal team argued for stringent secrecy rules in an effort to manage the information flow and reduce unfavorable press. Baldoni, meanwhile, adopted a different strategy. He started a website called * the lawsuit info * that included a chronology of the disagreement and his version of events. This platform is a calculated tactic to fend off bad headlines and provide clarity regarding his position on the accusations. Both Lively and Baldoni's careers have been hampered by their protracted legal battle, which might have long-term repercussions. Lively's marketability and future casting prospects are in jeopardy because of the accusations and legal dispute, which have exposed her to severe public scrutiny. Her reputation in the industry and public opinion may be influenced by how she is viewed, whether as a victim pursuing justice or as a character involved in a heated court dispute. Already, Baldoni has experienced immediate repercussions. After Lively's original complaint, WME fired him on December 21, 2020, and Vital Voices revoked his Voices of Solidarity award because of the accusations. These defeats raise the possibility of industry blacklisting as participants turn away from the dispute. Beyond their professional lives, this case demonstrates Hollywood's continuous battle with charges of misconduct, the challenge of handling accusations, the influence of public relations informing stories, and the long-term effects on individuals involved. In a field where perception is crucial, striking a fine balance between handling serious accusations and guaranteeing due process is crucial. All year long, this drama has been playing out, and since neither side is giving up, there will undoubtedly be more. Make sure to subscribe if you want to be informed about every development.